All right, Gold's Care week 1 is our body weight workout. We're basically just trying to ingrain the good movement patterns that come along with the body. So squat, push, pull, hinge. Of course, we need to address the core also. So in the education piece, we're also warming them up. So it's up to you as coaches to spend as much time as you want to on each of these movements, whether it be a set amount of reps or a set amount of time. Just make sure you're staying on pace and you leave time for the workouts and the mobility that are coming after. So the first thing we're going to talk about is core. So make sure you're educating them on why it's important to have a good, strong core, be able to control their core. Core being everything attached to their hips and spine. So if you can't hold your hips and spine in a good position, you're susceptible to injury on all the other movements that we're going to do later throughout the program. So how we're going to work on that, we're going to start off with dead bug. On your back, shoulders slightly elevated, hands on knees, open up opposite arm and leg. As they gain confidence here, they can open up all four, eventually get further and further until they can completely hollow out. A good static hollow body is the goal here. All we want on the floor though is lumbar and glutes touching the ground. Everything else is elevated and they should be able to hold that. If they can hold that, they'll be set up for a lot of success in all the later movements in the rest of the programming in the next 12 weeks. So after core, we're going to go on to squat. Everybody should be able to control their body weight up and down away from the ground. You need to be able to get in and out of your car, sit down in a chair, go to the bathroom by yourself. So it's very important we educate these people on that. Main coaching points of the movement: comfortable stance, general shoulder width. We're going to drop our hips straight down while trying to maintain a vertical torso. Come up to full hip extension. Nice straight line from heels all the way up to the head. Next is going to be our push-up. We need to be able to push things away from us in life. We need to be able to hold things out in front of us. Without training that, again, susceptible to injury in daily life. Hands right underneath shoulders, straight line from head all the way down to heels, dropping the chest straight down towards the ground. External rotation with the hands as we push up to full lock out of the arms. That external rotation keeps our shoulders nice and safe, contracting a lot more musculature so that we have less potential for injury. Modifications for that, I would recommend doing a slower negative push-up down, elevating onto the knees, and then repeating. Negative, up, negative, up. Of course, you could maintain that knee position all the time. Next is going to be our pull. Everybody should have TRX bands in their gym. Some may have rings in their studios. Everybody will also definitely have a Smith machine somewhere in their gym. Whatever apparatus you're going to use, try and maintain a hip height with the setting. That way people can go all the way underneath if they need to. So for the rings, I'm going to start in a finished position. So completely retracted scaps, elbows back behind the body, good neutral spine throughout, straight line from head all the way to heels. I'm going to walk down until I feel some tension on my lats. That's a good starting point. Extend through the arms, slight bit of protraction, open the shoulder blades, retract and pull my elbows back behind me again. Pretty simple movement. To make it harder, step the feet forward underneath the connection point or step back to make it a little easier, take some of that load off. Why do we need to do pull? We need to be able to pull ourselves up off the ground. We need to be able to pull things towards us in life, right? Last is going to be our hinge. Use our hinge to pick things up off the ground in a safe position, right, with our spine. So teaching hips back, good flat back, minimal knee hinging, okay? So to make sure that we're activating the right musculature, we're going to have them do glute bridges. So laying on your back, knees bent, feet flat, extend through the hips, squeeze the glutes, hamstrings should be tight, keep that lumbar nice and tight as well. If people aren't feeling their hamstrings and glutes, you can extend the legs slightly to increase that tension. Again, we are trying to educate them on where they should feel their hinge movements later on in the programming. Before we move on to workouts, remember, this is up to you to tag these movements with a certain amount of reps or time. It's up to you. Workout 1, simple 8-minute AMRAP. We have squats, push-ups, bridge, and sit-ups. All of them are going to be 10 reps each. Cycle through them at their own speed. Some might be hitting 5, 6, 7 rounds in this workout. Some might only hit 2 or 3. It's on their pace. Okay, make sure you let them know that, find comfort in that. So our squat, you saw the air squat, you saw the push-up, saw the bridge. The sit-up, I would recommend a butterfly sit-up. Feet facing each other, knees open, touch the ground behind you, use your arms for some momentum, and try to get your shoulders over your hips for a full range of motion. Again, 10 reps on everything, 8 minutes at their own pace. Next, workout 2, it's going to be a 12-minute EMOM, basically variations on the plank. First is going to be a supine plank, so belly will be facing up. I recommend fingertips pointing out, right behind the hips. Try to create a straight line from shoulders down to the heels. Static hold for 30 seconds. Next is going to be a side plank. Start with the elbow, slight bend in the knees, come up, straight line from head to heels again. If you want to, you could unstack the feet for a little more stability or drop down to the knees for even less tension. Next is going to be a prone plank. So facing the ground, your normal high plank or hand plank. You have a choice here. If you want to go into Superman, you could as well. And then to finish off that 12-minute EMOM, we'll go to the opposite side plank that we did from earlier. 12 minutes total, so you're going to go through this 3 rounds. Okay, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off essentially. Last of all is the homework. Really easy for them to simply repeat this workout, or they could try to go to a body flow class or a yoga class. And then of course our AMP app, they can try and do any of the body weight workouts in there. Also look for our mobility posts Brian has created for us. Use those tools to help mobilize all of our athletes and participants after the education and warm-up.